Hello. I was tempted to mime there, just to keep it
Yeah.
theme, but
Yeah.
No. No.
we would never have audio issues on this stream.
What audio issues?
Issues?
Shut the fuck up.
I've never heard of her.
Hey, you know how you just said we're never having audio issues?
I didn't want to say it.
Guess who forgot to unmute himself on the fucking stream?
Oh my fucking god, Jane!
Wait, are we?
No, they can hear you. They can hear you guys. I didn't unmute myself.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Welcome
Jay.
to City of Mist. We are Chris, Barry, Kelly, and Fraser. This is Jay, the DM, and
Jay,
we've been
beautiful
doing some
illiterate.
shit. Okay, there you go. Intro done.
Trust me, it
Fuck's
was really good.
It was so good when Jay did it. I'm just rushing
He was-
through it because he's a twit.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. It was adequate.
Were you only muted on the stream, or were you muted on the recording?
Muted on the yes, both.
Damn.
Because
No one will ever hear it.
the recording runs through the stream, and it was because Twitch picks up my microphone independently to you guys because you guys are running through Discord.
Yep.
So
We're so good
A
at this.
very simple system.
Auspicious. A dream-like, auspicious start.
I am gonna
to our
need so
fabulous
much
return
whiskey. Right. Well, I'm drinking fucking whiskey cask cider, so that's close enough. Right. So it's been a little while since we've done this. We've been running through our City of Mist Waking series, exploring the origins of 3 of our characters. But now we are back to our main campaign, to what can be just about called the present day. This singular moment crystallized and frozen in time as our dear friend Clark Smith reached out and held the pendulum of time in place, freezing the entire city, bar none. The only people in the City of Mist who can move in this instant are our 4 heroes. Which is a damn good thing, because they are on a ticking clock and have got some people to find. But why am I explaining all of this when I could just have Chris take it away?
It's a bleak time in the City of Mist. I'd say the rain is falling, but it sits there, frozen in the air, looking at me, judging me. It knows the secret. I haven't told anybody yet, because it just happened 2 seconds ago. I suppose though 2 seconds is relative, in a time in which time itself has ceased to move. I always wanted to be cool, you know? Yes, well, I really liked films like Blade Runner and all these types of noir things when I was a child and growing up, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to go and help people, to keep people safe and protect them within the law and mean that people didn't have to worry? Law enforcement seemed awfully chaotic and, well, at times one got the impression that they weren't always the shining beacons of protection that they ought to be, so I ended up in environmental health and safety and efficiency protocols and, well, it's not quite as glamorous as running round the rain-soaked streets at night with a gun in one's hand, fighting evil. And then, of course, the job offer came through to protect people from issues in time, and I thought, well, that's cool. That's a thing that no one else can do. I can go and I can create safety by removing the dangers within the very fabric of time itself, and it felt very worthy, but it was, I suppose, also very lonely. It was just me. Obviously, I met some friends along the way, and people who learned of me and respected me, but I suppose at that point, people also, there was a bit of a distance, a remove. I didn't really have a lot of what you would call friends. And now, in a whirlwind of 2 or 3 days, my God, it really has only been a short time, and yet I feel like I've known these 3 my whole life. Cal and Effie and Mal and... my word. And now we have other friends who are locked up and in danger. We have enemies, powerful enemies. Much like in the films I used to watch as a child. But they're dangerous. And I thought, well, what would the hero do? What would the hero I always dreamed I would be as a child, what would he do? And so I thought, and I thought the hero would always do their best. You don't seek out to die or to lose everything, but you seek to do your best knowing that that could be the consequence. And I suppose I've now used my own life to make sure that we can do our best. Yes. In any case, we have friends to save and Doug to find and Marco to stop, and I can do my best for that. And I can do my best to make sure that when my friends do fight Don Caligari, that they did it with the best chance possible. That's what a hero would do.
I'm gonna need a minute because I think my heart just broke in like 14 different places. Fuck. Yes! At the end of our last episode, Clark made the ultimate sacrifice in order to freeze time across the whole city. And in doing so, he caught himself between one heartbeat and the next, knowing that he has no more. And that's where we are now. Standing in this single moment of frozen time, the 4 of you standing in a circle. Effie, Mal, and Cal, all of you, your minds having remembered, gone back through these moments of waking, how each of you came into the mist. But Clark, you're focused very much on the now. This is the time. If there is a moment, it is now. So, what do y'all want to do?
Well, that worked.
I
Time
quickly
has,
slip my hand out at Cal's.
time has stopped across the city. We have, and I can promise you this, as much time as we need to find our friends, to prepare whatever you need against Marco. Mal, I think you mentioned something about your cult of cards. If we want to get them in position, I mean, we won't be able to communicate with them, but we can pick them up and move them places.
Yeah.
We can prep whatever we need. We have all the time we need to find Doug, to find our friends. Don't worry.
Can I make a suggestion?
Certainly.
We have been running ourselves ragged for days on end. And if we have all the time in the world, I think maybe if we sit down, have some food and breathe.
I mean, you guys are currently in the Hearthside, so there are you have access to, there's food like in the fridges, and there are comfy chairs.
Absolutely. I will warn you though that we won't be able to cook any of the food.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes. Apologies.
It's weird. You'd think being stopped in time would feel different.
It'll feel a little bit different when we go outside and there's more people around. At the moment, obviously, there's just and I gesture around at the various king's men.
Yeah, like it's just kind of king's men and Tiffany in the bar. Like Tiffany's in the basement with the two golems. Morag isn't here. Morag's gone. And none of her staff are in the bar itself. It's just sort of, there's just one guy who's like midway through combing his hair, just frozen in time. Two guys who are literally going, "Hey!" at each other.
I will say that one of the differences that you will find, and it's not a huge difference because the majority of air is nothingness, and only some of it is particles. But like there's an almost imperceptible increase in difficulty in walking through the air because the air is not moving.
Cal just starts swatting the air. Like,
as you do that, Cal, you start seeing trails being left as you start moving your hand through the dust in the air and leaving just like hand-shaped holes.
Mal starts kind of doing that as well. It's like, man, this is weirdly, eerily similar to being high. just watching trails behind your hand.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know. I rather skipped that part of my misspent youth.
I dabbled.
Does anyone want a drink?
Yes.
Oh, actually, what are all your home drinks? I'm really curious.
What do you mean, we have all the time we need? Like...
So, time is paused, and it will not restart until I tell it to.
Oh,
and there is no limit on that.
Wait,
could you have done this the entire time?
No, this is very much a one-off type deal.
Oh, okay.
wouldn't Caligari still be able to move since he's all timey-wimey?
Caligari quite possibly can, but I don't think he will be able to stop. He will not be able to change the effect, but he will be able to move through it if he was aware of it happening at the time. If he was not aware of it happening at the time,
he wouldn't know to...
He won't know.
Damn, that's good.
You have to understand.
That is confusing.
For everyone who is not the four of us, it will appear as if no time has moved at all. They are not...
If you're sure.
That it is not so much a case that they are frozen, so much as we are freed from the second that they are in. Might be a better way of thinking about it.
Okay. Okay.
Theo cameo.
Theo cameo. Woo!
We love a Theo cameo.
Yeah.
Don't mind him. Headbutt me in the face.
So yeah, none of the taps behind the bar will work, because they all work off like gas pressure. But there's fridges with bottles and stuff. So, and all that and all the spirits are on the racks behind it. And there's cans you can open for.
You will need to use a straw to get the liquids out of the bottles.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't pour anything.
Yeah, but there's also there's 4 boxes of paper straws, tucked behind the bar.
Fucking turtles.
Ruining my straw experience.
Goddamn turtle. Yeah, get the fucking disposable metal straws. Because what will happen is the turtles won't choke on them. They'll sharpen them into spears and retake the land.
Plus everyone's poison.
Turtle.
I might
Myrtle the
enjoy
turtle.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful turtle.
That is Myrtle the turtle.
Might enjoy a light beer if there's one going.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. And she pops a straw in it as well.
Thank you.
I pull out of my pocket a big brown jug that says XX on it.
Of course
I
it
didn't
fucking
realise you were a
does.
fan of the XX.
I think it's supposed to be 4 X's.
Is it 4 X's?
Wasn't
I
it
I
3?
couldn't remember.
I think it's
3
3.
X's is something
No,
different.
3 X's is porn, Chris.
3 X's is.
I don't fuck. For some reason, my brain was like, no, 4 X's is porn.
No,
And I was
3
like,
X's.
no, no.
3 X's is
3
either
X's is
porn or
porn.
Vin Diesel.
3
Okay.
X's.
I think
Or
it's-
Vin Diesel, and
I think
4
it's-
X is an island in Terry Pratchett's Discord.
It's 3 X's.
Really?
I just googled cartoon alcohol bottle.
Wow. Those jugs were
3 X's. There
Wow.
you go.
particularly spicy jugs then, I guess.
I think. Oh Jesus Christ!
Go to hell for that one.
Yeah, that was terrible. I think
Oh.
XXX is shorthand for adult.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's fair, actually. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Fuck's sake. Anyway, so
He gets a straw and starts sipping it.
I mean, you brought that, so I think that's kind of a thing of you, so it behaves normally.
Oh, I can just drink it?
Yeah.
Sick. That's a cool precedent to set for me.
Yeah, it's a horrifying thing that I've just said, but you know what? Fuck it, we've
Very-
all.
Very precedent to set for him.
Yeah, you also forget that I have
Things I pull out my
control.
pocket.
I can do things with the things that come out of your pocket, remember? So,
Yeah.
and also, because one thing I have fucking realized about this session is, I don't have any characters.
Correct.
I don't have
True.
any. I have no voices here.
Nothing.
I have no voices here.
You are just the narrator. You describe
Exactly.
what you see.
Okay.
So,
Turn it.
Squirrel.
Fraser's not going
Had
to
it
turn out to be
coming.
evil in this one, is he?
Not this one.
no, not this one.
I can't go through that again.
Unless.
You didn't even go through it the first time. You
I
weren't.
didn't, no, I didn't.
weren't
I had to
there.
get out after the
No
fact,
one
and
has
I'm mentally
context for
preparing
this
myself
on
to
the
go through
stream.
it, and I can't
Yeah.
go through it twice.
That's
Also-
true, we are entertaining people.
We are entertaining people, and I'm. You know what? I'm just going to refuse to provide context for that one. So,
Sometimes, what can you do?
so Effie, you crack open a beer for Clark. What do you pick up for yourself?
Oof. We'll think about that later. Mal, what do you want?
Closest.
Effie puts her wingspan out and looks for the first drink that lands under her hand.
Tequila.
Great.
Slams the bottle in front of her.
Takes a straw.
You are if you are standing behind the bar,
Yep.
if you are in a bar that is going to cater to a lot of people, the tequila should always be immediately within arm's reach. as should the shot glasses, because
Yeah.
motherfucker, you were gonna have to get that a lot. So yeah.
Throwing out shots and then just going in with a straw and going.
So Malbus set the Tequila.
4 tequila shots in a row.
Also, how would you get them into the shot glasses?
You can't. You just have to
just
eyeball it from the bottle with your straw.
You're just gonna go, okay, it's gonna be like...
Okay, I'm gonna
Suck
go.
it into
I'm
the
gonna
straw
suck
and then
them into
blow
the
it
straw,
out. Into the...
and then because gravity isn't working, I'm just gonna then put it over the thing and blow it into the.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I'll just drink the tequila out of the bottle with the straw.
I would like to just point out something as well, by the way, that is kind of cool. Because particles aren't moving, because particles are frozen in time until we interact with them. If you put your straw at the bottom of the bottle and drink, the liquid will come out the bottom of the bottle, and then the rest of it will still be up.
You'll drink a hole in it.
Up.
Yeah, you're drinking a hole in the bottle.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool, but I'm just gonna say, if we start getting into sort of what this would mean...
Stops time physics.
I was gonna say, if
What
this starts
happens
getting
if
into what happens with particle physics, then we're gonna have to move on.
We are defining time stop physics.
I
for
know.
this
I'm
work.
just saying, there's a limit to how deep I am willing to let
I
this
only
go.
have one more question I want to ask.
Okay.
Comment and
What
then we're
happens
both talking
when
about it.
what happens when I pour out my stuff? Does it freeze in midair?
After it gets about an inch away from your body, it just kind of goes...
That's cool. Look what I can do.
Like, okay, I know we're not talking about particle physics, but frankly, Chris's earlier statement about how air is mostly nothing and only kind of particles is blatantly untrue. And
Yeah, that is bullshit, Chris. That is... It's very wrong.
Air is
Air is
70%. Air on planet Earth, the atmosphere is made up of 70% of it is nitrogen gas. About 20% of it is oxygen. Then there's a multitude of other gases going on there. If there was nothing, no particles, that would be the void of space.
I was gonna say, that's still all particles.
It's still all
Guys.
As explained to me by various physics teachers, if you have a cubic whatever
Hey guys, welcome to our physics lesson stream
of air,
where we pretend
then
to be playing
only
physics.
like 0.1% of it or something is the actual particles. The rest of it is empty.
AJ, when did this become a stream for Hank Green?
I was gonna say, like, guys, I have not got the cheekbones to pull a Hank Green at this point, so...
I wish I had a big XXX jug of moonshine in real life.
You and me both, man. You and me both.
Okay, we'll move on.
I would quite like my jar of pornographic moonshine, okay? Because this, I need to
me
knock
too.
myself out. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to the person with the science degree and the person with the theatre degree have an argument about science. Okay? Because you're both very stubborn and I don't want to fucking referee this.
No.
I grabbed some food.
Okay. There
Whatever's
is
fine to eat cold.
there is a lot of like pre-sliced meats and stuff and bread and like various things of ingredients in the fridges.
I go into the kitchen for a couple seconds, and then I come back out, and I'm holding this really big sandwich,
Like rip.
and it has like a cocktail stick with an olive in it at the top.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm good.
If
Anyone
he
want
just
mine?
gives you a withering look.
It's like that's
Yeah, fucking why not?
like that's not a club sandwich. That's a society sandwich.
That's a cake.
It's a debutante.
It's an ever-growing stack of lasagna.
So, where?
Just lasagna all
Okay,
the way
so
down.
we have time to figure all our shit out now, right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
It's been a while since we've played. Can we just reiterate what situation everybody's in? Because I know that we don't know where Doug is.
You don't know where Doug is, but you know that wee Bobby took him away to go basically just go and get supplies, go down to the shops. Caligari showed up, wrecked the fucking place. You guys showed up. Effie wrecked Caligari.
That was awesome.
Doug and wee Bobby did not return, so you've no idea where they are.
Okay.
Effie received a little folded golden crane that from Quentin Cucutonian that will in some way help dealing with Marco.
Great.
Marco has 4 hostages, as you received a call about, which are Quentin himself, Ethel, Meg, Judge Monroe, and the surprisingly somehow alive Detective Sergeant McLean.
So he has
it's personal.
hostages.
It's fucking personal now.
How he has survived, y'all don't fucking know. All you know is you've got the pictures of him tied to a chair with the conspicuous lack of hole in his chest.
We had some discussion last time about whether or not he had been raised from the dead, or whether or not it was because what's-her-tits that Cal was talking about had
Luciana, yeah.
And he maybe never died.
Yeah, Luciana could have altered our memories and we remembered it wrong.
Well, the last time...
Luciana what's-her-tits. I don't know what the problem is.
That's her middle name. Technically speaking, it was her mother's maiden name. But, so... Because the last time you saw McLean was... The man that you now know is the Rift of Atlas, was up to his elbow in the guy's chest. So... You have a lot of unanswered questions. And also, Effie, Cal, and Mal, all of you had those memories. You had those memories come up. You have that. You are like hot off the heels of that sort of trip, for want of a better term. So.
Effie. Does Effie still have the photograph?
Yes, you do.
She pulls it out to see if there's a drink in it.
You pull it out and you look at the photograph. There's the sort of the out of focus man and you there. You're clearly having a good time, and you notice you do actually have a glass in your hand. It's hard to tell what the contents are, but it is in a martini glass, and it is a bright electric blue.
Mel.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever temp in bars?
The temp agency didn't really do bars, but I did work in bars like when I was at uni.
Come here. Do you recognise the drink that's in this photograph?
Do I?
Tell you what, let's do, since we're just fresh back, let's have a roll for it.
Let's do it.
Mal, I want you to roll to investigate.
Hell yeah.
Show me the investigation. So, what...
Okay, let's look at my character sheet.
Yes, what relevant tags do you have?
Quick learner. From my Jack of all trades card.
Yep.
Kind of a stretch. But do you think I could use I smell almonds?
I was just thinking that.
I'm particularly good at paying attention to things I eat and drink before I eat or drink them because I have been poisoned before.
Yeah, I think we'll... Yeah, I think we can... I think we can add that, and... Nah, no, that tag's been burned, never mind.
Oh, were you gonna take something?
I was gonna say, well, because you've got your crew tag of the Hearth side, but that has been burned, so...
That has been burned. I think...
I will be right back.
That's probably it. Yeah.
So,
okay, so roll +2.
You have a +2 to this roll.
Right.
2d6. Give me what you got.
3 and a 5 +2, so that's a 10.
That's a 10. That's a full success. Roll +power on a hit. On a hit, you get clues equal to your power. So you get to ask me... Basically, you get to ask me 2 questions about this drink.
Okay. Okay. First question I'd like to... Right, would you just remind me real quick, what, Effie, what is this photo?
The only thing I have from my past life, it's actually kinda my namesake.
Okay. Question I'd like to ask about the drink is, what is in it?
So, you look at it. You can't, like, immediately tell precise ingredients from what's in it. But it's in a martini glass. And it is bright blue. There doesn't appear to be any garnishes on it. So, that kind of narrows down the possibilities. If it is blue, chances are one of your main ingredients is blue curacao. Since it is in a martini glass, that means it is probably a shaken cocktail, or mixed in some other way and then poured into the glass, but also probably means it's not got a huge amount of ingredients. If you're making some...
likely to be gin or vodka is the main booze.
As a mixer for blue curacao, which is blue in color but also very citrus in flavor, like gin or vodka are your most likely things. Like, you can kind of eliminate rum or whiskey or like any kind of darker spirits. That would make it, because that will speaking of your experience, that'll fuck with the color. It is also unlikely to contain any fruit juices, because all of those will change things. Like,
change color.
Yeah, you're looking at something with everything else you've got in it is colorless.
Yeah, so it's either so it's going to be blue curacao, either vodka or gin or some other kind of clear spirit, and then any other syrups or things that are in it are also going to be colorless. So
okay, you have one more. You have one more question if you want to ask.
I do have one more question. My other question I would like to ask is, what bar in this city serves a blue drink in a martini glass?
There's a few. Now the thing is, because we're operating off of Mal's knowledge of bar work, it's would Mal have worked in any fancier places? Because if you're looking at a fancier cocktail bar, you can definitely get something blue in a martini glass, and you can get a few things that are blue in a martini glass.
Well, also based off the rest of the photograph I'm looking at.
The rest of the photograph, it's kind of hard to tell. It's a little hard to tell where they are, because sort of the Effie and her out-of-focus companion are taking up the majority of it. You actually don't think this is in a bar.
Oh?
You think this might be in, like, maybe it's a function, maybe it's somebody's house, but that means that whatever you're dealing with probably doesn't have any high price or difficult to make ingredients.
This is like, we hired a bartender for this event.
Either we hired a bartender, or you're drinking with somebody who has a number of bottles in their house.
Okay.
So these should all be not only commercially but personally available ingredients, or things that are very simple to work with. For example, it wouldn't be unreasonable for someone to have a bottle of simple syrup.
Yeah.
Which is also colorless. Usually, if you do it right. If your simple syrup is not clear, you're either using brown sugar or you're doing something very wrong. Okay, at that point, you've just made caramel. Very watery caramel.
Tasty caramel.
No, because it'll be very shit caramel. It'll be very, very wet caramel.
Is that all I'm getting?
I will give you that there are a couple, like, there's not a lot of drinks that would be served like this. So, but at the same time, they would all be very unusual collections of ingredients.
Yeah.
For example, like blue curacao is not... It's known, but it's not a very, very common ingredient.
It's basically exclusively used for gimmicky cocktails.
Kinda, yeah.
Why I was kind of hoping that maybe this is something unique enough that I recognize it, because it's like, oh, that's, you know, this particular bar's, like, signature cocktail or something.
No, I'm not going to quite give you that much.
Fair. That's fair. I'm reaching a little there.
Yep.
Okay, well, I rattle all this information back towards Effie.
Okay. Effie, I'm assuming you're going to start plucking bottles.
Yes, I am.
As you're doing that, Clark and Mal, each of you taking sips from your light beer and your tequila, respectively. The two of you have both had these drinks in the Hearthside several times before at this point. You know the feeling of home and of belonging that comes with this place. And that's not quite what you taste now. There's a tinge of it. There is a sense of comfort that comes with this, but it's nothing like as intense or as warm and embracing as it is normally.
Yeah.
And you know, Effie at the very least would know that the sort of the home nature of this place is connected directly to Morag as a person.
Yeah.
So
with her, she's not here.
Yeah, with her not being here and not in a great state, is probably damping things down a little. So.
Do we know where Morag is? Did she go to
she's in hospital, yeah.
Okay, good.
She got nailed to the bar.
Yeah. I just remember Meg going with her, so we were concerned. That
Alex went with her.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
The second of the sisters. Technically, actually, Alex is the youngest, but still. Because, yeah, it basically, like, you are here with... There's just 3 greasers in the bar, frozen with you. That's the only people. You know that Mark and Buck and Tiffany are all in the basement. Because you were tending to the 2 golems and Tiffany was kind of just keeping watch. So yeah, you've got a justice obsessed serial killer in your basement. Let's make cocktails.
So there you go. Sorry.
Effie takes each of the drinks, looks a little, and puts it in a glass. Because obviously if she tries to shake it, it's not going to work.
No.
She takes some of the ice and pops it in. And then she's like, no, there's no point.
Stir it.
Gives it a stir, and then has a little sip. Does it have any effect?
Tell you what we're going to do. What I want... Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some percentile dice. And I'm going to roll them. Because we're going to see how... And we're going to see how likely it is that you picked the right bottles and used the right measures.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my headphones off for 2 seconds, go and grab the dice. And while I'm doing that, think of ways that you can sort of explain how I might lower the DC for this. So.
Hey Chris, do you reckon Stanislavski's sense memory would work?
Well, okay, what
Not quite how that works, but sure.
do you have any tags on your character sheet that would work?
Let's have a look.
I wonder, we could always also, we could ask him if he could slightly retcon and have me make the drinks.
That could work.
Could be a cocktail reference sheet somewhere. Some bars have those.
I've just got a Simpsons episode in my head. I could try, and I'm pulling your strings, so I'm trying to get you to remember how to do it.
No, because like like I'm thinking, because there's a couple of options that he gave us for what this drink could be, of what could be in it. I could basically like make you up a bunch of different versions and have you try all of them. That would increase the chances, probably.
Yeah. That's right. Like, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Right, I have grabbed my
in the
bluest dice for this.
Amazing. So slight retcon, Jay.
Yep.
Because it was my bartending experience that allowed us to work out what was in the drinks, I'm going to mix up a couple of different versions of this drink.
Okay.
Effie.
That's gonna bring this down. That's gonna bring this down. Anything else?
I did make one suggestion to Chris, but I don't think it would
I heard some cackling through the headphones. What was it?
Talking about sense memory and the idea of like smells and things bringing back certain memories, which is, you know, perfectly valid concept in psychology, and it works.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Talking about it specifically in terms of Stanislavski, which I was like, come on, no.
this is here's the thing. I don't think what Effie has is more akin, I think, maybe to magical brain damage than like repressed memories. So I think so it's like you can't use sense memory to bring back like an amnesiac's memories, because that's just with retro.
Kind of can.
I think you
Is
can
that
do.
not the entire point behind trying to get an amnesiac to go about what their daily life is like, so that the sense memory like triggers?
No, that's more about. I think that's more about dementia, but like with certain forms of amnesia, it is that your brain center has been damaged. It like that shit's gone. So,
Anywho.
again, I am not a doctor, but yeah. So that will give you. I'm gonna give you a. That'll give you a 40% chance here. 50. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this 50-50. So if I roll under a 50, this is your home drink. That is a 67.
Fuck.
So I am sorry. This doesn't. You're not getting that feeling that the others have described, but you think you might be on the right track. You think you're closer than you have done and you've been before.
Okay, let's just put this to rest right now. Shall we work out what the plan is?
Also, Dice Tower.
Dice Tower.
I guess find Marco is probably step number 1.
Find Doug should be step number 2. Can we find out where everybody is before we do anything?
I'm not sure how we do that.
I will put forward a stipulation. Because this is kind of where we left off last time with the time stop stuff. And Clark would know this. You have enough time. You have all the time in the world to find Marco. So when you find Marco, that's when time will come back. So you're going to want to do that last.
So finding Marco is step Z.
Yeah, so that's the last thing you're going to want to do. Because you
we should find Doug.
Yeah, because you made specific stipulations when we did this. Because it's all coming back to me now.
So we did.
Yeah. So Marco is last.
We need to find Doug, find our imprisoned friends. We need to find a safe place to deposit all of them. We need to come up with what the plan is for taking out Marco. Then we need to go find Marco. Yeah.
So, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you like until then. But when you get to Marco, who you think is with your imprisoned friends, then that will be the time comes back. Yes.
We don't know how Quentin's device works yet.
No, you don't.
We can't ask him because time's frozen.
And also, he's also tied to a chair somewhere.
That too. That's slightly more important, yes. But what if we went and investigated his lab? Do you think we'd find any clues there for how it works? Effie?
I mean, it's worth a shot. I do have an idea about how to try and find Doug, but I might be pulling at the wrong string, as it were.
Thinking.
Also, if Quentin got kidnapped, it probably would have been from his lab, right? So, if we're gonna find a trail that leads to Marco, it'd be worth looking.
That's a good point. That's
a good shout.
You do, yeah, because you know that Quentin is quite agoraphobic.
Yeah, he does not like to go outside.
Yeah, motherfucker did not leave that lab.
Is relatively safe most of the time. It's not. I mean, he got kidnapped from there, and it's not a very good base. But like, I think we should start there. Also, you know, not to be a dick or anything, but we could also maybe ever so slightly rob the place for weapons. There's probably better
sure he won't
ways
mind if we're saving
I could do that, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind us stealing from him.
We wouldn't be stealing, we'd be acquiring the means of freedom.
Borrowing a couple weapons in order to free him, I'm sure he will thank us later. So I think we should start there.
Mal, you do still have your bat.
Of course, I've still got my bat. I love that fucking thing.
Clark, what's your thoughts?
I think if we establish a safe place to take people, and we find Doug, put him there, and then go to Quentin's lab, see what we can find there, and see if we can track down Marco and our friends.
I know of a safe place we could deposit people.
Yeah?
In fact, Mal, you've been there. My techie friend, as it were.
Fives.
Uh-huh.
Fives' basement.
Okay.
The home of the paranoid hacker. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, Fives is gonna kill you.
It's fine.
Yes.
I will get him like some Baja Blast and all will be forgiven.
Yeah. It's gonna need to be a lot of Baja Blast. What, Fraser?
Canonically Taco Bell in our universe.
Yeah, this is the real world, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's just it's been confirmed.
Confirmed Taco Bell.
I've been waiting for it.
Fraser, look, Fraser, it's no Larry's Tie and Ties, okay?
It'll never be.
It'll never be Larry's Tie. I'm glad that nobody else in this call is gonna get that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized something that I forgot. And I know that, okay, this is not how this works, but see that roll that you did earlier with the percentile dice?
Yes.
Could I have used the help point?
Change it by 1.
I would say that you would have been able to use a help point to maybe reduce it by another 10, but then I still would have been 7% over.
Ah.
So like if it had been like a 55, I'd have been like, yes, we can go back to that.
Quite a lot of help points just kind of sitting here that I haven't touched.
Because you haven't been using them.
And a hurt point.
We keep splitting the party, so we can't use the help points.
That's true.
Okay.
We're not doing that today.
How do we propose finding Doug?
That.
Effie, you said you had a thought.
Alright, let me kind of zone out for 2 ticks. I don't know if this will work. Yep.
Just as a little thing that Effie would know, Morag does have a book of like contact information and stuff for her staff. And you know that Doug disappeared with wee Bobby, so if...
Yeah, but we can't call anyone.
No, but his address is in there.
Alright.
Point. That's
Be a lot
good
simpler than
information.
the idea I had.
So, just information that is available to you.
Effie goes back behind the bar and looks for the address book.
It's a big, thick motherfucker. And it's got a lot of names in it over the years. And you sort of flick to the latest, the back page.
Bobby the Bobag, Bobby the Bellend, Bobby Herman.
Bobby the Bobby.
Aye. Big bad Bobby Bossack is in there as well. But you know he doesn't work there anymore.
He's a
Because
Bossack.
yeah, well, also because Buck took his job.
I was going to say, did Big Bobby the Bossack bail?
He's bounced bail.
No, big bad Bobby Bossack behind bars.
They couldn't make
So
bail
he needs bail.
Oh Jesus!
No one bequeathed bail.
for battering.
Stop! Please.
I heard he bounced to Botswana.
The bastard bounced to Botswana.
That's bananas.
I believe it was Belize.
I heard it was polio.
I'm going to batter yous.
Oh. Alliteration's fun. Fuck.
This is
Well, that was a delightful tangent. Yes, it is.
I feel better now. I feel better now. Right, so, Effie, what was your idea?
Effie was going to zone out and see if she could see the string and try and follow it.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. Right. Now this is interesting because
I'll be back.
this is interesting because previously your I know a guy ability has been pretty much exclusively used on people you've never met.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you have met Doug. I'm not going to say that doesn't make it work, but it's going to change things a little bit. Because the thing is, you do know this guy. But you know this guy. You don't know our guy. And you sort of can reach... As you kind of close your eyes and sort of can feel the web spreading out across the city, it looks different. It looks very different from how it usually is. Normally, you can't quite put your finger on it until you realize that it's still. Normally, this web is alive with little vibrations of people living. That's not happening right now. With time being the way it is,
The story stopped.
The story is at a gap. So you can maybe look and you can kind of see kind of where it's going. Mm-hmm. You can't find the point. So I can give you some general stuff.
Okay.
As you kind of Because as you kind of...
I'm happy to do that.
As you kind of like entwine your fingers in it and tug a little bit on the thread, it feels less like sort of the silken feeling you're used to and more solid, more brittle. You're aware that if you pull too hard on this while the world is stopped, it might go quite poorly.
Okay, Effie just gently strokes the string to see if she can follow where it goes.
Yeah, it's not like Effie is... Effie has a very delicate hand when it comes to these things. So it's fully within your powers to just gently kind of follow it the right way. And it takes you a minute, like it took you all like a long minute. Like Clark has finished his beer by the time you kind of open your eyes again. And you have a general idea that Doug is somewhere in Old Town, and that he's not gone back to the sewers.
Okay. Okay.
Which is really good because I've forgotten the name of the Queen of the Dead. Forgotten what her fucking name was. No. Who she was, what her the character's name.
Oh.
I've completely forgotten her. I think it began with an A or something. Fuck it. There's too many NPCs in this game, and it's your fault.
Okay, he's in Old Town, I think.
And Old Town, as you would know, is it is a fucking rat's nest of old, not very well maintained buildings and sort of alleyways and knock-throughs and just bits that have kind of been put together over years. Like it's a fucking warren, is what it is. Astrid, that was her name. You began with an A.
And is that anywhere near Bobby's address?
Not really. Bobby lives sort of like one district over.
Effie puts her hand down on the table. So Doug's round about Old Town somewhere, I'm not sure where. Can't quite get a grasp on what's going on there. But better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do have all the time in the world, right?
Oh, actually, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Would I notice any, all the strings when I was looking at that, or was I focused purely?
I mean, I think you were trying to find Doug, but here's the thing. Fair. Again, you have got all the time in the world. If you want to look for somebody else,
nah, that's fine. Okay. So we should check out Quentin's place. We should check out Old Town, and then we need to think of a plan for Marco. Anyone?
I don't know, kill him? I mean... Isn't the whole idea about Marco, if we make a plan, we're screwed?
Well, that was part of the idea behind stopping time, is that it means he won't be able to prepare for whatever plan we put into place, as we're currently coming up with the plan.
Unless he
can't...
predicted we were going to stop time and prepared already.
He might have predicted that. He might have predicted we were going to stop time, but he can't surely have predicted anything we do. Sorry. Yes. Effie.
Hang on one sec. Back into string theory. Jay, I look for Marco's string.
You reach out for Marco's thread, and it's weird. You try and find it, and you realize that it's something is there's. It's like the string leads off into fog. Like you fully can't tell. Like you know it's there, and you know he's on the other end of it, but you can't look into it and see where he is like you did.
I'm not looking to look into it.
So what did I mess
grab the string.
What?
The brittle string.
Okay.
Snap.
Yep.
It's always sunny title card. Effie ends the world.
Oh god.
Effie, you find his string, you wrap your fingers around it, and you pull. at this string that feels as brittle as a glass. And it snaps.
And your story's no more, fucker. But
And
didn't see
then you
that one
hear something
coming.
else snap. And another one. 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 And you can hear cracks radiating out all across the web.
Oh, now I feel sick.
So yeah, you actually, all of this kind of radiates out into the distance. You don't have any idea what the hell you just did, but yeah, that's a thing.
Effie was the true end boss all along.
Oh no! Oh no!
What did the strings represent? Like our stories?
Well, we don't know that what's just happened because we can't see or hear the strings.
No, we don't.
We just see
We
the
just see
Effie's
Effie
face
going
drop.
like-
Effie's strings that she sees are connections. They are connections between people. That's how she she knows a guy.
Oh,
So
fuck
she's
this.
just shattered her connection to Marco, and potentially a lot of other connections that were connected to that connection.
Yeah.
Like potentially her connections to us.
No, that you would have noticed that immediately. Something would have changed immediately if that had happened. So, yeah, this is yeah.
So we can't predict exactly what will happen if one of those strings is broken, but what we know currently is that
Oh
it
my
is
God.
entirely possible. Well, if Effie tells us this, it's entirely possible now that Marco may not only not see her coming, but may not even know who the fuck she is.
Who could have predicted that something bad would happen if you snapped the string?
I just love that
If only
Effie may
Johnny
now
had
be.
said out loud, something bad will happen if you snap the string.
I just love that Effie now may be like the John Cena to Marco.
You can't see me!
You can't see me!
I'm just loving the impulsiveness of, oh, that string, this metaphysical concept looks brittle. Snap. 10 out of 10, exactly what I would do. But I have several clinically diagnosed disorders, so... I don't
Johnny
think
may as
that...
well
I
have
don't
held
think
up a
it's
sign
praise.
that said, don't do this.
I don't think this counts as praise, but that's what I would have done.
Anyway,
ADHD.
we don't know this has happened. Is Effie gonna tell us?
Effie's just going to draw her hand back and look very pale and sick.
Are you okay? Take that as a no?
Effie? What happened?
I'm not quite sure.
Can I offer you a drink with a straw? Would that help?
Please.
Maybe a tiny umbrella?
Yeah,
What?
Do we have them?
Shoot, we
I
missed the
think there
eclipse,
might be
guys.
some. Let's have a look. What?
We missed the eclipse. 25 minutes ago.
I didn't even know that we were going to be able to see it in
It
Scotland.
would only been a partial eclipse here. It would have been pretty shit.
It's like 12% visibility here at the minute as well. We wouldn't have seen anything. It would have gotten slightly darker for a minute.
You would have to be high up because it's like the sun's setting, so we probably wouldn't have seen it from where we are. Anyway, unless you get.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm like,
Don't feel too bad. It's fine.
Sorry, I just opened my phone to find like several memes about the eclipse immediately.
Is this about how Biden caused the eclipse in order to let the aliens loose?
No, it was somebody saying that they filmed it for those of us who couldn't see it, and what they actually had filmed was a Pokemon Sun cartridge, and then carried the
Okay, that's amazing.
11 out of 10 peak meme. We love it. Using completely relevant modern games as well. This is great.
Don't fucking say that, man. So yeah,
Back to the serious moment we were having.
So yeah, Effie just pulled something she shouldn't have.
And Jay is going to reach untold consequences.
Oh yes!
Well, we won't know what the consequences are until time.
Because they're untold! That's the point of untold consequences!
We shall ignore them.
Sensible.
Told basically means they're not real, so it's fine.
It'll be fine.
It's not real till I'm aware of it.
Don't suppose it's too late to activate. You've activated my trap card.
What does that one do again?
Hey Clark, can you reverse time real quick?
Yeah, no, you can't do that to me. You can't do that to the MC.
It's worth a shot.
You do not get to Uno reverse. Your character does not get to Uno reverse me.
Are you suggesting, Jay, that this isn't one of those games where we fight God and God is you?
I mean, not yet.
No, we fight an Italian man. And the Italian man is
also
Johnny.
a god. Yeah. The Italian man is Johnny.
We fight Jay's internal
Look.
how would I put this? Italy Sona?
Wow.
I don't think you should.
That makes me sound
that.
way more racist.
It does.
That makes me sound so racist.
Anyway.
Sorry, I like referring to things as a Sona when it's absolutely not that, because it makes people extremely uncomfortable.
It could have been Italia, it could have been Scandinavia and the world. But for Jonathan, it was only Racist Monday.
Oh god, no. Right. I am getting this piece of paper out because this is the little piece of paper I make the notes for what's gonna get clipped on it.
Oh god. Racist Monday.
Racist Monday.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're clipping the racism of our party.
Yeah, so we've got the monologue, Effie fucks up, and Racist Monday. So yeah, what do you all want to do?
Also, that just froze for me at, right, okay, so we've got Effie fucks.
Yeah, I got the same. I was like, what are we going to clip? We're going to clip Effie fucks.
That explains why I looked up and everybody had such serious expressions on their faces.
Very different kind
Looked
of
at went,
video.
what did I miss? Oh god.
I didn't think that was allowed on Twitch anymore.
We've been playing for an hour and a half and we've not left the bar.
I'm just gonna leave at this point.
So yeah.
I don't even know where I'm going.
What are you up?
Old Town.
Effie, you have a general idea of where Doug is.
General idea.
Thank you.
Okay, I know where Doug is, and I would really like to move on from this situation. Thank you.
Okay, let's go get him.
I bring, having not actually, because I meant to ask Effie what her drink was, and then I didn't, so, and I can't remember what her drink is.
Effie doesn't have a drink.
I brought her, well no, I can't, I brought her bottled water because there's no tap water, because we can't run the taps. So I brought her bottled water and a straw.
Effie gratefully takes the bottled water and just starts taking the bendy bit of the straw and using it as a drill to go further down and down the water.
Oh god.
Al pulls out a bottle of water and goes, you know, like, if you just want a bottle of water, mine works. Like water.
Effie contemplates using the straw as a shank.
Actually, I wonder if you can drink it, or if it freezes if it gets too far away from me.
I've already done enough experiments. I'm not.
I
no.
don't care. I throw the water ball behind me and I walk away.
Freezes in midair.
Sick. Here's the thing. Cars not gonna work.
Guess we're walking. Or.
Don't
Tandem
Things that
bicycle,
I
anyone?
Or.
Work fine. So, I pull out a 4-person tandem bicycle.
So you do.
Yay!
Or do I?
Yes, you do, because
Yes.
I fucking love this callback.
Funny.
It finally
Yeah,
happened.
I'm pretty sure other vehicles, any vehicle isn't going to work because they all have interconnected moving parts. But
Yep.
things I pull out of my pocket work, so here we go. Get on, everyone.
And also, a bike is relatively simple.
Yeah.
If
I'm
we have
not
to
sure I
apply
can
direct
cycle. I
force
feel
to the
pretty
pedals to get
sick
it to
right now.
move, so.
Effie's having a bad day.
Effie's gonna sit on the back and put her feet up on the handlebars anyway. Let's be fair.
You don't have
Let's,
to.
yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did everyone get on the bicycle?
Yes,
Yes.
everyone gets on the bike.
Absolutely
Yes,
we do.
begrudgingly.
Yes, do it.
And Clark
Is
makes
this
sure
like
everyone's got a
all-pro
helmet
red?
on.
Everybody gets a helmet. Cal, you get to pull out a
Yeah,
bunch of helmets. The one you end up giving to Effie is one of those Viking ones with the horns on it.
I'm not wearing that.
Mine is like a Marvin the Martian.
Yes, yours is a full, like, Centurion with the green brush and everything. Clark's a very...
Single helmet with a skull over the front of it.
Yeah, Clark's is a very simple, like,
Normal
regulation
bicycle.
cycle helmet. Mal's is a full fucking motorcycle helmet with a death's head skull on the back.
Hell yeah.
Cal, I want you
Rock
to
and roll.
know, no matter what is said in any other day, I hate you a bit more today. She puts the helmet on.
Oh, thanks.
Incredible.
It's got a chin strap. on
Alright.
it.
Onwards!
We all pedal in tandem.
Okay.
Beautiful.
It is truly beautiful. Right, so... Fucking Jesus. Where do you go first? Are you going to Quentin's or are you going to Old Town?
I think Old Town.
Time.
We're looking for Doug first.
Okay.
We go to Old Town, we're not carrying as much about.
Okay, so you take your bike to the Old Town Road, and you... That was... I didn't... By the way, I didn't say that wanting to make that pun. That just came to me. That was not as set up as my usual
From on
puns.
high.
The inspiration. Yeah, you guys... it takes a little bit of time, but there's nothing else kind of moving. And there's no pedestrians or traffic lights or anything to worry about. It does take a little bit of effort to get through traffic, because it's a 4-person tandem bicycle. It's quite long.
And the traffic is not moving.
And the traffic is fully standstill. Which is really interesting when you see, like, spray being kicked up from the backs of wheels and stuff. But yes, you eventually reach the very, very narrow streets of Old Town. This is where sort of the city began. This is one of its oldest districts. This is where, you know, people have lived for ages. And there's a lot of historic buildings here. There's a lot of, you know, some kind of stuff there. But largely, it has been left to kind of molder. There's some parts of it that are, like, meant to be, that are preserved by historical societies and a little bit of touristy stuff. But most of it is, like, the old tenements and back alleys and sort of walled off gardens that people have been living in forever. So yeah, do you guys want to stick together and explore, or do you want to split up?
I think we should stick together this time. We split up most of the time.
Effie doesn't want to be alone right now.
How
Yeah.
large a radius are we searching in here?
Fairly wide, but it's also, you kind of don't have any time crunch at all.
That's true. Okay, yeah, we stuck together.
Just leisurely cycling down all the different streets, looking around.
You don't have to cycle down the streets.
No.
It's a lot of narrow streets and very pedestrianised areas, which Clark would disapprove of cycling on.
That is true. Clark does not believe in cycling on the pavement.
Yeah. Don't cycle on pavements, kids, because one of these days a pedestrian will be tired of you and knock you down. Because that pedestrian will be me. Fucking watch yourselves. So yeah.
Didn't realize this was going to turn into like a Jonathan admitting on camera the number of cyclists that he has brutally assaulted.
I'm not going to admit that, but I've come very close to a few. But yeah, sorry. You stick together and you go exploring. You find a lot of nothing, but you eventually kind of wend your way through and you see a couple of sort of signs. First sign you find is a guy frozen in motion who is clearly booking it. He is looking over his shoulder, but he is very clearly mid-dead sprint. And he looks quite scared.
Do we see what he's running from?
When you turn a few more corners, you do in fact see what he would have been running from. Because you see Bobby. Frozen in space, hands up, and a pair of 6-shooters in his hands. Old Wild West gunslinger weapons.
Who gave him a gun?
You realize
This
that
is Bobby the barman, not Doug.
this is the point where you realize none of you know what Bobby's rift is.
No. Is he Bobby the Kid?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Bobby uses Behringers.
I love that.
You look, and as you look closer, you would look closer at the guns and discover that they are slightly transparent. But you are slightly distracted by what he's firing at. You in fact can see a bullet suspended in the air, the explosion from the muzzle of the gun, the muzzle flash, still apparent and stuck there. Because you see that he is firing at a figure dressed in black, wearing a porcelain fox mask. He is frozen in the act of dodging and moving forward, one hand out.
Does anyone want to check if the fox has got ID?
Yeah, I look.
By the way, and just sort of to finish this tableau, Doug is on the ground on his back behind Bobby. And his mask is askew.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Can I go up to Doug and just fix his mask real quick?
You can, yes.
I'm just like, there we go. Don't want to end the world.
Yeah, let's just put that back.
Jesus Christ.
Well, do we need a trailer for the bike?
I can try. What's a bike trailer look like?
Well, there's a few things. You ever seen those like little canvas covered ones that you can put like a kid in? Like sit down in them after? Or it could just be like a fucking wagon. Just pile them in.
You know what? Cal isn't about specifics that often. He pulls out a trailer. What do I get?
You get a phone playing a movie trailer for The Expendables 2.
Jesus.
Shit movie. Free phone!
Effie takes the phone off you, going, "Thank you, I'll have that."
That's
It's
fair.
just playing. It's
That's
just
actually
playing the
fair.
Expendables 2 trailer on loop.
You're gonna have to pause that, by the way. Time isn't gonna stop it.
She tries to.
It just keep,
That,
the phone
it's
just
something I'm gonna have to roll.
the phone just puffs out, just like puffs out a little plume of smoke and shuts down.
Oh.
You still owe me a phone. She throws it.
Freezes in the air.
Question, actually, before we touch anybody. Things
You're late.
start moving again if we interact with them. Does that apply to other people?
Not true.
So it doesn't animate, but we can move them.
You can move because if you think about the drinks,
That makes sense.
the drinks didn't animate. It's the stuff that Cal pulls out of his pocket because he is essentially
be that.
producing that from himself.
Gotcha.
Those remain in time until they move far enough away from him.
The guy in the fox mask.
I'm a little scared to take his mask off in case it's a similar deal as Doug, and it like kills us all or something. Can I search? Can I search him for a wallet?
You go through his pockets, and you do find a wallet and a phone. Nothing else.
ID.
There is an ID in there. It's
Who is that
blank.
mystery man? Oh.
The picture is blank. The date of birth, all of it, is blank.
Almost like
Oh, fuck
his
you!
information has been removed. Or have we seen that before?
You don't know.
Okay. What?
You don't know what the deal is here.
No.
I would like to what can you describe this guy beyond the fox mask?
He is dressed all in black. You think they are male. They are fairly sleekly built. They seem to have quite an agile frame. And they seem to be dressed very much for speed and for stealth rather than for protection or comfort.
And are they like? So we know Bobby's firing at them. Are they holding a weapon? Are they making a weird gesture? What are they?
They are not holding any weapons, but they are clearly in the act of dodging down and trying to move towards Bobby and Doug.
Peek
It
under the
strikes-
mask, please.
What?
I would like to peek under the fox mask. I don't want to take it off and reveal their face to everybody, but I would like to peek.
You peek under the mask, and what you see is very strange. What is under there is recognizably a face. It's definitely a face, and it's definitely a human face.
The fact you have to say that.
But it is... It seems strange, and you suddenly realize that you are looking at two different faces occupying the same space,
Oh,
as if one is sort of shifting into the other. You see that the skin tone on the nose changes. The eyes are two different colors. You notice even the ears are different shapes. There's a scar on one side of the face, but not on the other, and that moves down and just abruptly stops at a borderline where it looks like it should continue. I'm sorry, what?
do I recognize either of the faces?
Now, here's the thing. I have an option here. So I'm gonna see how lucky you are. Because if you are lucky, you do recognize one of these faces. Now, what we're gonna do, because I don't really have a percentage for this luck. So what I want you to do, Kelly, is tell me a number between 1 and 100.
Okay. And you're gonna try and roll it?
If it is close enough to that number, we will say. I'm not going to tell you how close it needs to be, but yeah. So what's the number?
65.
65? Now, I had in my head that I was going to have to roll at 20 either side. I was going to give you a leeway of 20.
You rolled, is there anything I could do to make that closer?
You said 65. You said 65.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 50. So that is within 20 of the number you said. So, you realize you do actually recognize one of these faces in the weirdest way possible. Because you remember the day you died.
The first time?
The first time you died. You remember the barista who handed you the coffee.
No. The second she makes that mental connection, she drops the fox mask and, like, takes several steps back away from him.
Mal? What's wrong?
You okay?
And when I say drops the fox mask, I don't mean drops it and it lands back in his face, I mean drops it to the ground.
Like,
It stops about there
Oh, that's freaky.
and reveals the half-shifted face.
The fuck's up with this guy's face?
he appears to be a shifting between type power. I've met a few who have similar abilities, I suppose.
I
Effie,
get the half of the face that I recognise, and I will go, I know him.
Effie, give me a number between 1 and 100.
I'm gonna say 30.
That's an 80.
Never mind then.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, that's an 80, not an 8. Wouldn't make a difference either way. But yeah, Mal, you know this guy. You know this one of these faces.
Okay. Yeah, he's coming with us.
Really?
Oh shit, my mic's not picking up anymore. This half here, I kind of point at, like, which half it is I recognise. He killed me the first time.
In the same way as the taxi gentleman who killed you.
No.
Who?
No,
Ah.
not in the same way.
He's not one of these card people you were talking about.
I mean, I haven't met them all. I don't think so, but he didn't look like this, like halfway between two people.
Yes,
Okay.
I assume we just stopped at an unfortunate moment. Or maybe a fortunate one for these two. I gestured to it.
Do you want... I pull out my scythe. Do you want him dealt with, or do you want to talk to him?
If I want to talk to him, is there any way to unfreeze him temporarily, or is that not how this works?
That is not how this works. We can, however, tie him up very tightly and put him in a safe place and talk to him later.
That's kind of what I was thinking, yes.
We could tie him up in a basement with a serial killer.
We do have one of those.
We do have one of those.
What we don't have is 50, like, yards of hempen rope.
You know that I
pull
used
out
to
50
carry
yards
one
of
with me at all
Cal,
times.
you start
in my
pulling
dungeon
out.
years
You
back.
start pulling out scarves. Like.
Close enough.
And they all just sort of flutter to the ground and then like stop once they get too far away. And
No, as I pull them out, they just like curl in a ball in front of me because they're not falling to the ground.
Yeah.
I kind of figured we'd do the tying up part after we got him back.
I don't know how to stop this. Wait,
Please stop
snip.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure will.
I guess I just pull out handcuffs.
Thank you.
I mean, that works better,
No.
right?
Yeah,
quite
I'll
happy
need to talk to this guy, and we also need to take Doug with us, but I kind of don't want to just abandon Bobby here.
No, we're
Well,
not.
let's take Bobby as well.
Does anybody want to take a?
How big's the trailer?
Does anybody want to take a look at Bobby?
I'll
Yeah.
take a look at Bobby.
Because he is there. He's got the two sort of the transparent guns in his hand, and you notice for the first time he's grinning. Like he is ear to ear, eyes
He's having a good
wide, grinning.
Did anyone know Bobby could smile?
I know him very little.
Me too.
Effie, I thought you would have known him the best.
The expression can best be described as manic.
Dear.
Oh no.
I don't know this guy.
What if he saw Doug's face and has gone, you know?
Well, the mask only slipped a little, and
Shall we tie up Bobby as well, then?
We might have to.
Okay, let's tie up lots of people.
great.
I know the safest place to put Doug.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's go and find something we can attach to the back of the tandem bicycle so we can put these three in it.
What?
We're not trying for a trailer again, I take it.
I mean, you can give it a shot.
I mean, I could give it a shot.
If it goes horribly wrong, though, we're going to go and find the nearest bicycle shop, and I'm going to leave exact change for whatever we take.
That is so fair. I try again.
You
So it's
pull
fair
out.
for-
You pull out, and you're like, you feel your jacket stretch as you do this. You pull out a miniature train car. And when I say miniature, I mean like a train car is normally many feet long. This thing's probably about 10 feet long.
Is there a clasp to attach it to the back of the bike?
Yes.
Well, there we go. Problem solved.
Just because I think the idea of a tandem bicycle pulling in a little train car is adorable.
I can't believe I'm the one that's going to be saying this, but is that safe?
I check the wheels because if it's got rubber tired wheels, then it would be safe on a road. If it has proper like train track wheels, then it is not safe for use on a public highway.
It's got the rubber wheels.
If you said the other one, I was going to suggest...
It's actually got tank tracks.
Situation.
It's got like tank tracks.
Tank tracks!
I don't fucking know. I'm making this shit up as I go. No, it's got like normal rubber wheels, rubber tired wheels.
We would not be able.
I was this close to saying hovercraft.
Hovercraft.
Its length. Fuck no. Due to its length, I would say it would be unsafe for use on anything besides a broad main road. I would not, for instance, want to turn a corner with it in a narrower side street.
Have you considered that if anybody falls out of it, they'll just freeze in midair?
That is true.
So,
I think we'll be all right.
So shall we?
yeah, let's.
All right.
Scoop them all up.
We scoop them all up and load them into the train car.
Do you tie any of them up?
Yes.
Do we? We're gonna tie them up before we do. Right. We'll tie them up first, and then.
Fox Boy, and Mr. Trigger Happy over here.
Hey Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
So you established that in stopped time, our force doesn't change momentum that much on objects. So we couldn't throw something at hyperspeed. We couldn't affect the momentum of an object.
No, you can't do the fucking Breath of the Wild speedrun strap.
No. So we can't change the momentum of objects. Like bullets that are hanging in the air right now.
No. You can maybe change the trajectory by angling it, or moving it down.
So their momentum's gonna stay the same is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
I pocket the bullets.
You motherfucker.
Okay, now, I just want you to know that those are going to snap to their maximum velocity the instant time comes back.
Please angle them out of your pockets.
I put them in a little steel box.
Make sure you draw arrows going this way.
I draw an arrow in the direction it's going.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna hold them. I want to do it.
Yeah, because I've got a question. Would destroying your jacket pockets completely ruin your fucking powers?
He's not been wearing I don't think he's been wearing the same jacket, so.
That's okay then.
I could theoretically pull it out from behind my back.
Yeah,
please point them away from you.
It's all.
It's
a concept.
Keep them pointed away from you.
I'm doing this sneakily, when everyone's back's turned.
Okay, if we angle Bobby this way and Foxboy this way in the train, would that...
Yeah, I mean, the train's big enough to fit everyone. I think it would be fine.
Right. Can I make a suggestion? Let's take Doug to the sewers and I know exactly where to keep him safe.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay, let's go to the point where you found me before the trial.
I don't think that was too far from the bar, was it?
Bar?
Well, you guys can get there anyway.
Yeah, we don't have a time limit or anything, so
exactly.
We just do that. I don't think the order matters either.
You trundle this lot back along the streets, and yeah, you make it to the manhole cover where you went down and found Effie, because you guys actually met in the sewers.
Right. Would you guys be okay if I take Doug to the spot? Kind of promised someone that I would never reveal their position?
Entirely
I mean, I trust you.
Yeah, we'll wait here. Shout if you need backup.
We got the time for it.
You just trust me?
Of course we trust you.
Of course we trust. Why wouldn't we?
You're our friend, Effie.
Huh. Be right back. Take Doug to where Astrid was.
You sort of manhandle Doug down this ladder, which is not easy with a dude who is permanently prone. Sorry, how do we freeze there as soon as Kelly started talking? What?
Oh, I say, as soon as Effie leaves, I turn around to the guys and go, was anybody else slightly concerned about her reaction to that? Like, you guys trust me?
I think she may have just had an emotional...
epiphany?
Moment.
Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Effie, you managed to make your way. It does take you some time because previously you were guided.
Yeah.
And of course the guide. You find the guide, but he ain't guiding nobody right now.
Yeah.
He chilling.
You actually find him sitting, dangling a fishing rod into the horrible murky water of the sewers.
I hang my bike helmet on the end of his line.
Amazing. You head further in, and you find the great golden cistern that contains Astrid's little kingdom. And you see Astrid herself standing dead center, seemingly addressing this sort of ragtag group of... Some are dead, very clearly. Some are... There are even a couple of people who are masked, like Doug. And it's just sort of a ragtag collection of people that can just about charitably be called human. There's at least one giant scaly lizard dude.
Not even mad, just impressed. I put Doug behind Astrid, where it's quite a safe location, and I write a note to Astrid to put in her hand while she's like proclaiming to this, going, "Hey Astrid, sorry. Anywhere else, I will drop a bottle of booze as payment. Soz, Effie."
Sweet.
And then...
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you just tuck it into her sleeve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and I put a note on Doug going, "You're in a safe place. All is well. Astrid will look after you." And kind of like post-it note to the front of his mask.
Sweet. Yeah, okay. You do that and you can head back up to the surface. Yeah, you head back up to the surface. The other three are playing Parcheesi. It's all good. So what do you want to do with Bobby and your mysterious figure?
Let the rest figure out. Basement.
I believe
Maybe
that was
move
the
Mark and
intention.
Buck somewhere else upstairs. Write a little note that says, "Tiffany, don't let these guys escape."
Fair.
I get the general impression that Tiffany doesn't really take instructions.
Depends who's given them.
We can only hope.
They're tied up, so let's... And if Tiffany's standing guard, she can stand guard over these guys.
There's also the Kingsman.
Yeah.
Them I would trust a little more in this instance.
Where is King himself? I don't remember.
I believe he went off to make his preparations for fighting Caligari.
Right, you know that.
I think so, yeah. I'm trying to remember if he did that or he went to He went to the hospital. But either way, the king is getting ready for war.
Yeah.
Elsona?
No, that's D&D. This is just Elvis.
Every day we stray further from God.
Can I just have that as the tagline for this series? City of Mist, every day we stray further from God. I'm gonna put that as the fucking channel description. So,
Anyway,
that is that dealt with.
lab.
You head over to the lab of the laboratory of Quentin Q. Caternium.
Yet.
You manage to bypass the defenses since they are pretty much either reliant on, you know, time being able to pass, or in ruins. You notice that the front door, normally quite well armored, has been a huge hole has been ripped into it. You think that Quentin maybe was not taken quietly.
Yeah.
Which is quite obvious due to the number of fresh scorch marks on the ground.
Oh, I wonder who was here.
Well, there's some evidence that this was, yeah. There is as you enter, you realize on the inside of one of the walls, there is the full outline of a human figure in scorch marks.
So someone got incinerated.
You remember that Quentin Q. Caternian is a man who takes his security quite seriously.
Yeah, I was just thinking Alessandro, actually. I forgot he would have, like, flamethrowers.
Yeah, you're forgetting that this man is Q. This man is Q. Bullshit gadgetry is the way.
I wonder which named character he killed. Off screen. That happened.
That Atlas dude, 100% dead.
He's dead now. Locked
Yeah,
in,
could carry
for
the
sure.
weight, but
That's
couldn't carry the
canon.
weight of the sun.
Look, plenty of people have been carrying Caligari's son. All right.
Atlas's muscles were just burning too much from all that weight.
No, the proportions of the figure seem like normal size rather than the fucking hulking mass that was Atlas. Who I don't know if we actually ever gave him a name. But yeah. So there is evidence of a struggle and of Quentin maybe having put to use some of his devices. For example, you notice that sitting in the middle of the floor is what appears to be an open briefcase with what looks like a small machine gun in it. Someone got that reference. Thank you, Chris.
That's a 007 Nightfire reference. Excellent.
I apologize for nothing.
There's sort of three things we're looking for here, right? A trail on Quentin and Marco, clues about the device that Quentin gave us, and just stealing shit.
So, the shit is fully open for you guys to steal. You don't have to investigate for anything that. But if you don't mind, I'd quite like to do that last, because then we can sort of like grab the items that we're looking for.
Should we split focus and do both things at the same time? So we're not splitting up, but we're just kind of like looking for different things at the same time to make it go faster.
Or, suggestion, Teen Crimes break.
Maybe a wee tea and crimes break?
I could go for a wee
That's a
tea and
good
crimes
suggestion.
break.
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Yeah, cool.
I'm getting so fucking close to finishing this cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'll be back.
Catch Elves in a little minute.
Chris, can I have tea, please?
Yes, you can have tea, dear.
Yay!
So yeah. This session has been sort of 90% bullshit density. How you guys doing? I'm not gonna lie, there is a part in my notes that says, time has frozen, how are you gonna stretch this to a whole session?
Not an issue.
We will manage that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm trying to hurry you guys along so we can get to bits.
I think I might have broken bits.
Yeah, yeah, it's like I present to you like very delicate strings, like, this is like, maybe be careful with my abilities.
I'm sorry, I wanted to kill Marco as fast and as efficient as possible.
Okay, one,
It's like
I respect your logic, and two, I'm kind of insulted that you think I'd let you kill him that easily. That would be
Yeah.
such an anticlimax.
Well, technically I've brought his story to an end.
Have you, though?
I mean, that's why I was
Well,
thinking. That's why I asked what the strings were, because it's the connection between people. It's not his life represented as a string.
Yeah. So
It's
for
not
anybody
his
who
life,
thought
but
that...
he's-
Yeah, for anyone who thought Effie was the Fates, no.
No. No, but he's got no more tales to tell.
That may very
Story's
well be
over.
true, but what you have done is a little different from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, this is a fun one. This is going to be fully something I had not anticipated. I was aiming for, I don't want to give you just the instant win button because I still want you guys to, you know, like, do things, to investigate stuff. And now, the Quincy's are occurring.
As a DM, you will occasionally get the experience of, what the fuck do I do now? I set up this one thing that I'm like, they'd never do that one thing. So I don't have to worry about the outcomes of it. And then they go and do it, and...
There are many times as a dungeon master where you will come out with the sensation of, what the fuck did you just do? And I have not had that sensation more than playing City of Mist, where you guys have such impressive levels of bullshit available to you. Like, I've had a few moments in D&D where I have seen somebody do truly staggering levels of violence in fun and stupid ways. City of Mist is a lot broader. Like, 90% of the big moments in this have been me going, fuck, 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 what did they just fucking do? Oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. Like,
I love City of Mist because, like, no other game can I, like, fuck you over by you're like, oh, it's cool because there are bullets firing through the air, and I'm like, those are mine now.
oh,
Deal with that.
yeah, trust me, mate. I don't, yeah, that was not a what the fuck, that was more of a, oh, fuck, man, what have you done? Because, yeah, I'm more scared for you than I am for anything I'm doing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
Because, that's gonna go
Oh god, he's
swimmingly.
basically got a ballistic grenade.
What he has is a very small piece of metal that as soon as time comes back is going to move very, very fast in a particular direction and sink into whatever it hits.
yeah,
So if he does that
true.
wrong...
Put
So
it
here's
on
the thing.
Marco's forehead.
I was going to say, Cal, if you do this wrong, it's going to hit you.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, it's not like I have an entire lab full of devices that I could use this technology.
Yeah, a lab full of devices that I control, motherfucker. I don't have a roll table. I'm improvising here.
I mean, I have any item in the game.
Again,
Jay's discretion.
If I roll well enough, I have any item in the game. I have any item possible to my brain. I could pull out a thermonuclear warhead if I roll high enough.
Yeah, you do realize that there's only one person here who can survive that, right? It's not you.
No. Mal will grow back from the one cell remaining and then be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
A wasteland.
That's the thing, is that's the only character here. There are other characters in this game who would survive that.
Marco wouldn't.
Marco definitely.
Definitely want to kill Marco.
Like, if you suddenly pulled out a suddenly pulled out a thermonuclear warhead, pretty sure that would kill Marco. I'm not sure it would kill some of the other people in this town.
No, maybe not.
I think Tiffany would survive.
Tiffany would probably survive. Caligari isn't an avatar, is he?
No, Caligari is a full-ass avatar.
He is an avatar?
He's a whole-ass avatar.
He'd probably live.
Well, considering how he can, like, regenerate himself back by going down different streams of time, as you have seen.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The other avatars you have seen, I'm not so sure about, because, like, Tiffany and Caligari are very definitively, extraordinarily durable. Yes, right. Yes.
You said, with how Clark's conditions are set up, it's when we find Marco that the time starts again, right?
Yes. I think that's where we landed.
Could we find Caligari?
We don't want to do that because we're not entirely sure he is affected by the time stop, and he might just kill us.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
Yes, the thing is, yeah, you could if you wanted to. Whether it's a good idea is a complete. Whether or not your characters would think it's a good idea.
Enough shit.
Yeah, the other thing, we don't know the extent of Marco's powers. It's like he knows things about people, but we don't know how far ahead that is. And he could have said to Caligari, they're gonna appear in front of you at 11:05. Okay, so as soon as it hits that time on your watch, start blasting. So he could be ready for us. Anyone could be ready for us. Marco could just know where we're going to show up and what's going to happen. He could know that we were going to stop time and buried himself in a steel box 100 feet under the ground. Like, we don't know.
That might be great, because if I've broken all these connections, then no one's going to hopefully remember where he is.
Just suffocates down there because no one comes to get him.
I didn't see that coming.
Then all our friends do as well. So.
Yeah.
The biggest advantage we have in taking down Caligari is taking out Marco first, because then no more premonitions. He won't see us coming. Might not help us much, but it's better than nothing. Guy who can control time and is also extremely powerful. It's good that he isn't going to know when and where we're going to show up, you know?
Yeah, because the direct approach, as we've discovered, doesn't necessarily work. Because you did already hit him with a building.
Throwing a building at him slows him down, for sure. It doesn't stop him.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people can just shrug off having a restaurant thrown at them.
Yeah.
Depends how bad the reviewer was.
No, true. Also, and I don't know if we made this clear, Vary, in your little waking episode. Did I say that the restaurant was Caligari's restaurant? Did I make that canon?
No, we just said it was a restaurant.
Cool, because I really was thinking of doing that. So I remember really thinking of doing that, and then I don't think I followed it through.
I wish I could have, like, got the right role for that box face guy, because I think I know where you were going with it, but...
Do you? Because I do. Because I finally know who you are. Because I know.
And unfreeze now.
Because I know who. Because I know who Effie is. I know who the person in the photograph is. I know your whole deal.
Shit.
It took me a fucking while to work it out and a while to make it up, but you know, I have it planned now. Because
Who better to write your backstory than the DM?
yeah, get the fucking DM to write your backstory, cheeky bastard.
Also, look at my boy. Look at his luscious locks. But yay. Okay, that's interesting, but the thing is, will I find out because Effie gave up trying to find it?
Maybe.
Maybe he's vampire.
Maybe he's vampire.
That is my favourite moment to have tuned back in.
Yeah, me too. Maybe it's vampire.
Maybe it's vampire.
Maybe that's the next City of Mist character, is the mythos of Tommy Wizard. Maybe Tommy is vampire.
You have the power to weakly throw.
I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
You have the power to wildly change the tone of the current scene.
Absolutely.
Tommy was always a reality bender. Like, you have two abilities. You have the power to wildly change the tone of the current scene, and you are completely inscrutable. Like, nobody can work out what your fucking deal is.
You have one of your tags is limitless wealth for no apparent reason.
Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows where he got his money.
Wouldn't his emblem power token thing be a football?
But you have to be wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah.
You have to be wearing a full tux to do. I have never seen The Room all the way through, and I really need to.
Funnily enough, Vary was trying to convince the honeys to watch it.
Fuck it, let's do it. It'll be funny as shit. It'll be so stupid. Although, could you imagine watching that with Lennox?
I'm not sure that we could watch it with Lennox. I think he'd spend the whole time in just abject disbelief at how shit it is.
I think he would have that sort of. It would be the hands-free set all over again. He would just have no idea what the fuck is going on.
But I suppose at least the joy is with The Room is it wasn't meant to be funny.
No, it was not originally meant to be funny. It was meant to be a very serious drama.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it contains, like, either the most or the second most dismissive cancer moment in all of fiction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And and I cannot believe that the other one is from Doctor fucking Who.
Let's not talk about that.
The bad series. No, I want to fucking talk about. I will talk about this at length. But I will probably do. Hey, Chris, remember when we did an entire stream ranting about Sword and Shield?
Yes.
I want to do one. I might do one myself that is just ranting about the Chris Chibnall era of Doctor Who. But I'm gonna need someone else because someone else has to share my fucking pain in this.
Entirely.
Because it's bad and it just gets worse.
Yeah.
I'll binge watch all of it so I can come in and stream with you, talk about
It's
it.
just gonna be me and Fraser sitting in a dark room with whiskey, just being like, this fucking shit. Because, oh my god, I could literally bitch for hours.
But we don't have hours.
But we don't have hours, we've got about 40 minutes. So,
Let's go.
we're all back, we're all ready. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you have dropped off Dog, you have left Foxboy and Bobby in the basement, in the cellar.
Yep, tied up with some notes.
Bargain basement, Bobby.
Okay, you like tie them to some kegs, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you can't change their physical positions. So Bobby's still like that, with the guns out.
Oh yeah.
We've got them pointed the guns at the wall, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, what do you want to do next?
Investigate the machine that got given to us.
Yes, so you were at Quatern. You were at Quentin's, yes.
Yeah.
So,
I think that be the most important thing.
Do you want to? So you have 4 things that you should do. You want to do here. You want to try and find a lead to where they're going. You want to investigate some shit to steal, and you want to investigate the thing, and you also want to see. There was another thing. You want to
I'm
know?
looking for instructions.
Okay, so you want to find instructions on the machine. You want to find some shit to steal. You want to see where they dragged Quentin to.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. So, Effie, you can go and look in Quentin's office. You head in. The door has been clearly ripped off its hinges. And there is a small sign of a struggle inside. You can kind of surmise that what has happened is somebody has ripped this fucking door off and then had to deal with Quentin himself, who is not necessarily the most threatening figure on his own. So that is probably where the fight ended.
Okay.
There is, however, just under the desk, there is a safe, which is closed, but as luck should have it, when you try it, it opens.
Oh.
You kind of
Was
look
it code 007 perchance?
maybe, but you look around. You kind of sort of look around and you realize he had probably just shut this when he was grabbed, but didn't have enough time to spin the tumblers and lock it.
Very cautiously, she opens it up.
There are no explosives inside. There is, however, a leather-bound journal. You open it, and inside are hand-drawn schematics, which are clearly written in the hand of the kind of person who permanently exists in that state where you wake up at 3 a.m, have an incredible idea and have to write it down. Like, the note-taking is insane. All of these devices are insane. But you sort of flick through until a crude drawing of a paper crane catches your eye.
Okay.
There seems to be a number of potential names for it that have been kind of like written out and some have been scratched through. But it sort of kind of comes down to surprise bird.
Okay.
The notes are kind of written in like short, choppy sentences. But you see that it says it's very clear that this is designed to deal with Marco.
Okay.
You see the word foresight barrier written on it, and then a lot, like the next 2 pages, are taken up with extraordinarily complex mathematical equations that make absolutely no fucking sense to you. Like, this is beyond levels.
Did someone say numbers?
This is not accountancy. This is full ass. This is whole ass quantum physics.
I'm going to wander back to the group, just kind of flicking through the book, just seeing if I can comprehend any of it. But all I've got so far is foresight barrier.
You don't know what Cal reads in his spare time.
You do bullshit. Does he read quantum physics? He was not interesting enough for that. You get past the mathematics and you find a little stick figure drawing of One person. One of them is unlabeled. The other is labeled. The other is labeled Marco.
Right, okay.
And you see a little dotted line with an arrow leading from the unmarked figure to Marco. And then a little crude drawing of the bird.
As if it's being flung towards Marco.
Yes. There is a note in a different colour that says, one use only, not enough time to replicate.
Okay, repeat that because you froze.
It says, one use only, didn't have time to fine tune.
Okay.
So we throw it at him and then hit him with all we've got, basically.
Hopefully.
Seems like as good a plan as any.
Effie pulls out the note that came with the crane and puts it in like a bookmark.
That note destroyed itself, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it burned itself up.
Never mind then.
Cool.
It's self-destruct.
You do find there is another note in that thing after the mathematics that says spatial rearrangement node with an asterisk, and the asterisk is mathematics complete. No need to mathematics complete. See addendum 427.
Flex to the back.
The addendums are not in this notebook.
I'll look for the book that's got the addendum, but while I'm doing that, move on to someone else.
You go off and anybody want to ransack the place?
Hell yeah, I want to find some weapons.
Okay. Mal, you find a few things. Remember that Quentin has his sort of thing appears to be devices that look like other things. Seems to be his whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is.
So you find a tie that can unfold and flick out into a sword. You find any number of things that go boom. And you
Quentin's my new best friend.
you find an alarm clock that can explode.
Incredible.
There is also a range of beautiful calligraphy pens that are all laid out on like a leather roll, and each of them is labeled on the table it's sitting on with the names of different toxins.
Excellent.
Yeah, and finally, the last thing you find is a Rubik's Cube. There is no notation. It just says, "Do not solve." You notice that the Rubik's Cube is maybe 2 moves away from being solved.
I want that so badly.
Oh, that is for Cal. That is for Cal.
Thank you very much. Pocket it.
Take the Rubik's Cube.
I will use that at the worst possible opportunity.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You also find a whole ass shotgun. That you realize is actually just, it's a pump, like an air pump. He seems to have got a bit backwards on that one.
Sure.
Like, Quentin's nuts! Like, I don't know if I'd established this, but Quentin's nuts.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah. So it's basically a bike pump that looks like a shot. It looks like a pump action shotgun. Because I find that funny.
I mean, it sounds very marketable, if I'm honest. I'm like, there are whole swathes of people who would buy that.
Yeah, just look at the TSA Instagram page and all the grenade-shaped vapes that they've fucking confiscated.
Jesus.
I'm not joking. That's a real thing. Yeah. So there's a number of goodies if you want to go thieving. And
Like the thieving.
yes. And at the back of the majority of the warehouse is taken up with cars, which unfortunately are not a lot of use to you right now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of cars here.
Among the cars, Jay, are there any? I think the era is like 20s, 30s. Like those kind of like boxy like cars, that you always see like like Bugsy Malone, like getaway chases.
Yeah.
That kind of car.
There's 3 of them in varying styles.
Clark is gonna go and like examine them, and like at one point he gets in one and sits in it and just like pretends to drive it.
You're fangirling
Like,
over
it is.
this car.
Yes.
It is, like, you notice, you think this is not an original, it is a recreation, but it is probably the most faithful recreation you've ever seen of one of these things. Like, right down to the stitching on the leather.
There's a little bit of Clark that is currently, like, living out boyhood fantasies. That
hits me in a place.
Yeah.
That hits me in a place in context!
Cal walks up to him and like puts like a fedora on his head, like a noir ass fedora.
You be really careful with any clothing that you find in this fucking place.
No, he pulled it out of his pocket.
Okay.
Because
there are also a number of hats.
Yeah, I'm not trusting any of those fucking hats.
Don't trust the fucking. Do not trust the fucking hats.
Is fedora the right sort of hat for that time period?
A fedora or a trilby, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clark, like, he doesn't, like, do anything, but, like, his eyes start to tear up, and he goes, "Thank you, Cal."
You look real cool. He sort of, like, Cal sort of looks over his shoulder, makes sure the other two are, like, busy looking for other stuff, and it's like, "Are you okay? You seem a little off. Is it straining to hold this in place?"
Don't worry about that. But no, I just well, I grew up on I grew up on a lot of noir detective films, and Blade Runner was one of my favorite films when I was young. But I also loved things like Dick Tracy and all these sorts of things. It's something of a fantasy of mine, you know.
Well, when we're done with Marco, I'll nick you one of these. I'm sure Quentin won't mind if we save his life.
Thank you, Cal. That means a lot.
That is the
even if he does mind.
I think that's the most open Clark has ever been with any of the characters.
He has had a lot of opportunity, in fairness.
I know, but it's still
He's the oldest, and he is what society has made of him.
That is true. But at the same time...
Cal looks up for a minute as if he's like thinking about something intently. He's like, "I wonder if I could maybe immerse us a little more in the experience." And he gets in the passenger side of the car, and he just sort of like focuses for a second and tries to make it black and white.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes, yeah, I'm just gonna let you do that.
I can
no
hear
roll.
Chris clap from here.
No roll. Cal, you put a hand on Clark's shoulder, put a hand on the dash, you close your eyes and you focus for a second, and the world turns black and white around you. The light moving in harsh, unnatural angles. The fedora becoming sort of like rakishly tipped on Clark's head. Everything just kind of feels for a second like you are in an old noir cartoon.
And we're wearing like three-piece.
Oh yeah, the two of you are wearing full three-piece suits. Cal, you've got a cigarette. The smoke curling artfully around you.
I put my revolver on the dashboard. Tough gig, this.
I think Chris has muted himself and is just...
Sorry, Clark, I forgot I'm on push to talk. Clark, like, shifts gear seamlessly and, like, does a little steer. Obviously, we're not actually going anywhere,
yeah.
But, like... Yeah.
We play out, like, a little scene of, like, we get in a car chase and I lean out the window, pretend to shoot like a gun, but there's nothing actually happening. Yeah. And I don't know if the other two pick up on this.
Clark has to do like a hard steer to get us round a corner.
I think Mal is maybe having fun. I think Mal is maybe having fun with the toys. Effie, you kind of look up from like going over Quentin's obsessive notes, and you're just like,
yeah.
You can just kind of see this bubble of black and white around one of the cars, and like Cal is fully making Tommy gun noises with his mouth.
Okay, let's keep going.
Clark's shouting shit like, "We're gaining on them!"
You find right, okay. I've laid out some stuff. Two of them are having their moment. Effie, you find your addendums.
Thank fuck.
You find your addendums. Spatial manipulate, the one that's addendum 427. Again, shitload of really complicated mathematics. Like this book is not like a little journal. This is a big kind of like A3 thing, and it is written in fucking lines and lines of crabwise kind of like mathematics. But it does have a notation at the end which says it says spatial condensation possible ? And then there's a big tick next to it.
Spatial condensations. Well, I'm glad you made 999 one of these little fuckers. Tucks it back into his safe space.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to see if you can pick up the trail of where... I want to move the story on, but also I really don't want to move Clark and Cal on. I really don't want to.
How about I wander over to Mal with the books?
Yeah.
And I just kind of go, right, I've got the information that we needed for the bird. Shall we figure out where Quentin...
Invent several things to hurt people with.
Oh, anything good?
Kelly, can you just roll me like 2 of the d6, please?
Yeah.
Because what I'm gonna say is you're poring over the pens, and I really want Mal to accidentally fucking stab herself with one of these.
I rolled 3 and a 2.
Yeah. While Effie was off there, you accidentally dropped one of the pens and stabbed yourself in the leg. Like you're getting up from complete neural shutdown. You're like, whoa! Everything tastes like pink.
Did you just die? What changed?
It's,
I'm like
Raspberry
looking.
Pi.
She's like looking down her hands. She's like, I think I might be left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah. You just accidentally stabbed yourself in the leg with some very potent neurotoxin.
Incredible.
I was gonna
Mal,
say.
do we need to put you in the wagon?
Be good.
She's okay. She's okay. She's just a little bit high.
While Effie is looking after Mal, Clark and I feel like this isn't too much to ask. Like Clark and Cal get out the car and like get out like magnifying glasses and start snooping for clues.
Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Black
Yes.
and white.
Yep.
But like nothing else is black and white. It's just a bubble around us as
Yeah.
we're walking around. Like,
Absolutely.
Mal,
It is
you
also.
know
It
what
also
I
seems to
think?
be raining in the bubble without the ground getting wet.
Yep. Clark, because Clark would never smoke, Clark is sucking a lollipop.
But Cal's Cal's definitely smoking. But yeah, just
yeah.
Clark's chewing gum. Clark's being a gumshoe.
Yes! Clark is chewing gum.
Yeah.
Mal, let's sit this one out and let the boys deal with finding out what happened to Quentin.
I think they've got it covered.
This is the dumbest fucking thing. I love it so much. Okay.
Cal, as they say that about them, Cal looks up and like winks at them, and then keeps looking.
Effie feels disgusted.
The two of you search for clues in the black night. And I'm not doing the whole voice. You find some... I'm not going to be able to do it without laughing. You find evidence of the struggle of them, of Caligari's men fighting their way in here, and then a little bit less of them dragging Quentin out. You do find a couple of buttons that seem to lead, like shirt buttons, that lead from Quentin's office outside. And you can almost see the picture in your head. Quentin being dragged away and sort of trying to surreptitiously drop something like a breadcrumb clue. You lead your way outside to a pair of tire tracks. Someone clearly sped away from here in a hurry.
Cal looks over to Clark and goes, "We got ourselves a regular Hansel and Gretel."
I'd say they must have made away in quite a hurry. What do you think they were so concerned about?
Who knows? But I know
Maybe
we'll
the guy
find
they
out.
did that.
I reckon they know we're onto them, Cal. We're gonna have to work this case fast.
As we always do.
Credits. Roll the title card.
Such nerds!
Ah! Oh my god. Yeah. Fuck. Shut up, Witness Defender.
Great, it's just such a bit that Cal would do.
It fucking is. I'm gonna need a minute.
And he's just so happy that Clark is like committing to
oh
a
my
bit.
god. Oh god. Right. So yeah, you guys dig through and you find the tire tracks, and you can sort of follow the car through to where it would have left the kind of the wharfs where Quentin's warehouse is, and you can't, like... I'm not sure how you guys would track this beyond that.
Tire tracks, any debris, damage to anything that the car might have crashed into.
And a shirt button.
And a shirt button.
And a shirt button.
I was gonna ask, do the tire track, are there two sets? It driving up and driving away, or just driving away?
Just driving away.
I look for a car that's missing in the lot of Quentin's cars.
Oh!
A bunch of them.
I mean, okay. You would probably surmise a lot more that this was... They left the tire tracks because they were leaving here in a hurry, and that left the sort of the burnt rubber.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They didn't get here in a hurry.
Okay.
That was a good wheeze, though. That was a good idea.
I'm thinking if it was one of Quentin's cars, he probably has a way of tracking them.
Oh, he absolutely would have, yeah.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be able to use it, though, because computers, they don't work when time doesn't flow.
I'd pull out a remote tracking.
What you do find is you actually find a cordoned off area, a cordoned off street corner, where with 2 fire engines present. And there are a number of firemen who are clearly midway through putting out the fire on a burning car. You recognize this as a very similar car to one of the ones you saw when you were dealing with the water rats when Caligieri's mob showed up. You also remember Quentin's propensity for things that go boom.
Looks like their plan to escape crashed and burned.
You could almost say it went up in smoke.
Clark's is better. Yeah, you find... after that, it's a little easier to find because there are kind of like traces of... Like, there are scraps of burnt clothing, and you can find, again, a few more shirt buttons that lead you further and further into leads you to what appears to be a construction site. The trail kind of goes cold here, but you do some snooping around, and you find the foundations of the building have been laid and have been set. You find that there is a trapdoor.
Won't you go down the trapdoor?
Let's go and tell the others.
Yes, I agree.
And come up with a plan.
You head back to the lab. You fill Effie and Mal in. What do you do now?
It's the noir over.
Yeah, the noir's over. I feel like the noir ended when we saw the trapdoor and we're like, right, okay, shit, serious.
While Cal's walking back, he's like, God, I hate cigarettes.
I appreciate even more than the sacrifice you have made. I can safely say that was some of the most fun I've had in my adult life.
Yeah, well, gotta have fun sometimes. You know, you're the one who told me that.
Oh yes, I did. As we walk, Clark is crying. Just walking and tears are happening, and he's just walking. He's not acknowledging it at all.
I don't think Cal notices.
So, I don't know if we need to really ask this, but hey, where's Clark at? You still can't feel The absence of the heartbeat has become still very obvious. You didn't think it was a fluke or anything. You are sure in the knowledge that you stopped along with the rest of this.
The empty sound is deafening my ears.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Ask not who the bell tolls for it tolls for thee, and I know that thee is me. Feeling... And he knows he's going to have to talk about it, because we're about to go into the plan, and he can't be a part of the plan.
Okay. You rendezvous with the other two. What now?
Welcome back, guys.
We think we found them.
Okay. Shall we sit down and figure out what the fuck we're going to do then?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go grab some paper. I'll be 2 ticks. Oh, Mal, the pen's good to use.
Mal's trying to talk, but no sound is coming out of her mouth.
That seems
I said no.
frantic no.
No touch. No touch.
Okay,
They are all still clearly labelled with the names of various poisons.
Those are all full poison. Stabbed myself in the leg. Died already. Do not.
What? When did that happen?
What?
It's fine.
While they're doing that, Clark has pulled out his handkerchief and is like cleaning himself up a little bit.
Right, I'll just grab paper. I'll be back in a minute.
Please, Mal, try and handle things. I know you're unkillable, I suppose, but I do worry if you could please, try and handle things more carefully in future.
Huh?
I mean, I wouldn't have even picked them up if I wasn't like immortal.
Yes, no, yes.
What's the
Never
point
mind.
of it? Pen with poison in it just feels like a good way to accidentally poison yourself, no matter what. It's in your pocket.
Yeah, much.
See, that's why you have a pocket protector. He taps his pocket protector.
Yeah, that's why.
I have had some very good pens burst on me and ruin quite nice suits. I really can advocate for the pocket protector.
Effie shouts from the other room, "Nerds!"
Yeah, that's fair.
As soon as she comes back, Mal high fives her.
And she lays the paper out in front of everybody.
Before we
Here we go.
start, I have a confession to make. When you are coming up with your plan for dealing with Marco and rescuing our friends, I cannot be a part of said plan.
What?
I didn't say this. I'm still not entirely sure how to say this. The thing, and I didn't know this until it happened, but the thing that is currently holding time still and has given us the preparation time needed and the time to find Doug and to tie up people and put them in train cabooses and basements and so on. The thing holding time still currently is my life. And when time starts again, my life will end. Now, this isn't something I want anyone to make a big deal out of. It's not any sort of thing to be concerned about, but it does mean that I will not...
Interrupts him with a giant hug.
Clark bursts into tears again.
Effie gives him a manly hug with a hand on the shoulder.
Mal's already crying. She's just sobbing all over him.
Thank you. Both of you. But it does mean that I can't be a part of the plan going forward. You understand?
Yeah, hang on. There has to be something.
I'm afraid, Effie, that is very kind of you, but my heart has already stopped beating. The only thing keeping me breathing just now is the time stop.
Cal's just sort of standing, like he hasn't really moved. He's just sort of looking down at the ground, like.
Effie opens up the book once again. What was the phrase in the addendums?
Spatial manipulation node.
No, that wouldn't work.
Can we not just restart your heart? Surely. We can just bring you back.
Mel's got a great taser.
It's a world of magic. Someone can bring you back, surely.
I'm afraid that tasers are not safe to use for resuscitation purposes, as the voltage is too high. But I appreciate the thought. Look, we shouldn't be worrying about this just now. We have friends to rescue and Marco to deal with, and we need to come up with a good plan to execute. We know that, or we believe that they are in that basement through that trapdoor. When we lock eyes on him, when we find him, time will restart. Regardless of anything. So that is the point where we need to be ready to act.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I don't suppose Cal, you could put Clark in your hammer space?
I can't really put things in. I take things out.
It wouldn't work, Effie. I appreciate it greatly, but there is nothing to be done. It has happened. It was not intentional. I did not do it on purpose, but it is the way it is.
Power comes at a cost.
Yeah, but normally EDF tells us how much.
Well, I suppose. What do we know about from the photographs? The photographs that Marco sent you, with our friends tied up. That should give us an idea to the layout of the room, for instance.
Okay. Neffy pulls out every single photograph she has.
Yeah, there are 4. One of Ethel, one of Meg, one of Quentin, and one of McLean. They are all tied to simple wooden chairs. The room is quite bare stone. When you look at the photo of McLean, you see that you can kind of just see and see sort of where sorry, give me a second. You can kind of see the knee of a burgundy suit, which is the same suit that Quentin is wearing in his picture. So you think that the room is probably not particularly big. That's kind of, it seems to be small and bare and windowless.
Jay.
Yes.
Can I quickly flashback, because I think this is a thing that we would have done in our search for clues. A construction site, if it has a building project ongoing with levels that are completed, it should have floor plans available in the site offices.
Yes, it does. Cellar's not on it.
Cellar's not on it.
Yep.
Okay.
That tracks, though.
But there's no... Would the trapdoor be on it?
No.
So it's the secret room.
Secret mafia room.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Okay. Small, dark, dingy.
Close quarters.
So we
Hopefully
need to-
not second exit.
So if there's someone in there guarding them, that means they're in immediate danger.
It means that anything used to subdue said guard cannot be too large, or else it risks injuring our friends.
I mean, we know Marco. Either Marco is in there, or the plan is irrelevant because time will stay stopped, and we
That
can
is
just
true.
take them and leave.
So let us
we should
assume
plan
that
with
Marco is in the room.
being there.
Yes. If Marco is in the room, then I'm trying to remember. But actually, I'll ask. See if anyone remembers. At the restaurant, when we went to the restaurant, Marco was there, acting as the concierge or the maitre d', if I remember correctly. Showing people to their
Yeah.
Yeah, maitre d'.
And he was on the door with him was Atlas.
Yep.
And was there another guy, or
Nope.
just the two of them?
The people at the restaurant you met were Atlas, Marco, Caligari, and his Caligari's 2 children, and there were several unnamed goons as well.
Yeah, it was more to see if there were unnamed goons. Right. Well, if that's the case, then small room. I'd say we can probably assume that, based on previous experience, it would be Marco and Atlas who would be present.
Yeah, I think in close
That feels-
quarters, what's his name, Alessandro Powers would be too helpful in a
Yes.
small room.
Yes.
So we can assume if anyone other than our Marco is going to be there, it'll probably be Atlas.
Right. So if that's the case, we need something that will be able to knock him down. We do have a number of pens, which I believe Mal has tested for us.
That's one way of putting it.
That
We need
seems
to
like
take out Marco before we do anything else.
well, we need to take out both of them, and Atlas is obviously a threat in close quarters. None of us are as strong as he is.
I just
Well,
want to.
a
I will point.
neurotoxin might be.
I will point one thing out. Like the neurotoxins, they'll work, but Mal is probably about 90 pounds soaking wet. So how big this guy is may delay the effects a little.
Well,
there's also the fact that I died from being nicked by the pen when I dropped it, and I'm planning on full-on stabbing this guy in the throat with it.
I mean, that'll also do it, yeah.
I was also thinking...
I'm just saying, if you're going to kill him good.
Remarkably unsafe for a suggestion from me, but I was thinking possibly stabbing him with several of them at once.
Yeah, holding my hand at one time.
Probably like 6.
And neurotoxins it is.
Because there ain't no kill quite like overkill.
I pull out a rubber band and just fashion all of them together.
Yep, just fucking wrap that shit up.
I think that should do it, right?
Yeah.
How many bullets did I get?
2.
2. I pull out the 2 bullets from my pocket. I'm like, I do have these. I'm just kind of like holding them to my fingers.
God.
They were the 2 that were fired by Bobby.
Yes, they should maintain the momentum.
You need to be very careful where you point them. Might I suggest for fashioning some sort of tube as an aiming device?
It's not a bad idea.
It would seem the safest course.
I would like to find
it. Goes out a blow dart tube for bullets.
Basically. Well, I mean, if the straws we had from the bar were big enough.
Well, this is an already fired bullet.
I don't imagine.
This is an already fired bullet, so the casing is already off it.
And also, I don't imagine
the casing's off. The explosion has happened.
It's also not a particularly high caliber round. It was not very big.
Yeah, so it is just velocity. It's just momentum. So.
I put it in the straw.
There we go. We have 2 prepped straw bullets.
This is the straw gunman argument. Right. So we are very much over time already.
Yeah.
Do we want to put this plan into action?
Or do we want to save it for the next time?
Save it for next time.
I think save it for next time.
I think save it for next time.
Okay. So you guys, you make your preparations. You gather your equipment. You all rock up and are standing above this trapdoor. And that is where we will end our session. Thanks everybody for joining us. We're gonna go over to Patreon and do the after show because, oh boy, I'm gonna have some emotions and it's all gonna be fine. You'll be able to find this and all of our previous episodes and future episodes on the Brothers Honey YouTube channel. You can follow us here on Twitch. Because there's only one person watching, and I think it's one of you 4, so fuck it. There's various social media things. Fucking look for me on Twitter. Look for my games company, Old Alliance Games, on Twitter, Instagram, fucking LinkedIn.
Look deep into your heart and give us money.
Give us your money.
Look deep into your heart and most importantly your pocket and give us a little bit of money. There will be actually more stuff than this going up on the Patreon, so it will definitely be worth the $5. Because I have ideas and plans. Possibly
And those are terrifying things for you to have.
Well, one of them might be a light revival of my game review series.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that might be going up there. Because I realize that I still play games and still very much have opinions about them and want to make really, really horrible metaphors about them. It's great.
Want to inflict those opinions upon others.
Yeah, but only if they give me money. There may also be I'm also planning on putting some more writing up there sporadically, because I've got some writing things that I want to do, and I want to talk to Chris about that.
Say, God damn it.
Well, things I need to talk to Chris about as my editor. So yeah, and my editor and all-round writing confidant. So yeah,
this is why we the brothers, honey.
It's a joint enterprise, motherfuckers. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. We're gonna fuck off. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.